Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Motive for this evening's seasonal opener for the GT5s here at Brands Hatch. It's only me in the commentary box again this evening, Honey Badger. I've just raced in the Tier 2 and it was absolutely brilliant for us drivers, so it's going to be amazing to see a full grid of cars here again for the Tier 1. Obviously Andy's on the grid this evening, we'll jump on board with him, currently sat on pole. Currently running those L plates after a few incidents last season, and Barry, who is also just commentating, is doing another race as well, so it's just me this evening. Feel free to comment anyone that you think is going to be up at the front this evening, and show your support to the boys, pushing as hard as they can. Welcome to the stream, J Palm. He says, hi everyone from full grid at Brands. Yeah, definitely, this is the Tier 1, mate. Everyone's fighting for positions, being the seasonal opener. Everyone wants to get as many points as they can. This being a team competition now, we do have teams running in this. So there we go, we're on board with the only G, as you see at the top there, and then just below his name he's got Need for Madness, that's his team name. OM Racing, Ollie and Morgan. There you go, the only G's teammate Kurt Hodgson. Pro Racing Opposition, Pro Fubby and Pro Alpha. I'll definitely be messing up those names again as well in the Clios the other day. Seba Stefano, do as you like, he's teammates with Gypsy George, who's in Tier 2. Had an absolutely brilliant race with him. Just if you did miss it, then it will be uploaded onto the YouTube channel shortly. O2 Racing Team Smithy and Falgast. Peanuts, RDJ and ALTEL, teammates this season. GTR and John Boy, I think that one's pretty simple. There we go, Motor Morgan, OM Racing. STRS Gerino hasn't got a teammate. Malik hasn't got one either. Motive Racing for Rugby. So yeah, we've got plenty of teams starting this championship seasonal opener here at Brands Hatch. We've got 3.5 minutes to go. Someone's just coming out of the pits, currently on pole. We've got the only G with 1:34. He has been practicing a lot and he has said he is able to reach that sort of lap time. Absolutely phenomenal lap time there, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to comment who you think is going to take the win in this sprint race. Obviously it's just going to be a straight and out sprint, and then afterwards they do have the feature, the same as last season, mandatory pit stop in that race, and the top 5 in the sprint race will be unable to qualify. Only Akira commented, hi all, glad to have you on the stream, mate. We're just watching now Ollie Moore slipstreaming someone as he comes towards the end of a lap, flashing his lights, asking them to get out the way. Does look like Ollie's got a little bit more pace than them. He's currently sitting third, 4 attempts off the pace at the moment. Will he be able to improve with that slipstream as he comes through the last corner? He pulls to the right. Will he be able to do it? Across the line he goes, and he isn't able to, unfortunately, so that car might have held him up. He's going to try one more or 2 more. And so Pro Alpha is that, he's yet to set a lap, unfortunately disconnected in the Tier 2 race, so he has been allowed to race in this one. Last at the moment though, Falgras comes across the line, he won't be for last for long. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, up to 12, 3 seconds off the pace though at the moment. He is using a controller, so I can understand the difficulty he is having. We'll look at the mid-pack battle. So we've got 7 attempts between 4 cars at the moment, and 4 attempts between the top 3. Absolutely brilliant from these guys here in Tier 1. So there we go, Falgas looks to be happy with 12th position at the moment. Ollie Moore still out on a lap. 35 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen, before we get this racing underway for the seasonal opener here at Brands Hatch. Into the last couple of corners now. Still 4/10 off the pace at the moment. The only G and Andy look happy with their laps. Into the last corner, trying to keep as much speed as you can to get a good run onto the home straight now. And across the line, unfortunately doesn't improve on that lap, so he will start on the second row at the moment, provisional. We have still got Profubby out there into the last couple of corners. He goes as well. Absolutely phenomenal last season it was for him. He only did a few races, but it has managed to make him promoted to Tier 1 for Season 2 as he comes through the last corner as well. 1.3 off the pace at the moment. Will he improve on that 5th position at that now? And he isn't able to, so he'll be starting on the 3rd row of the sprint race this evening. Let's see who's still out on track. Tal. Just running wide there, touching the grass. And that will be a lap invalidated there from his Eagles in the pits, and that's the end of the qualifying session for our Tier 1 boys for the sprint race this evening. So we've got the only G on pole, a 1:34.8, absolutely incredible that time, just behind Andy. In 3rd, Ollie. 4th, Sebas. 5th, Profubby. 6th, we've got Smithy. 7th, we've got Morgan. 8th is Kurt. Rob's in 9th. Tal in 10th. Girino in 11th, John Boy 12th, Falgas 13th, Malik 14th, Ugba 15th, and Pro Alpha didn't settle up, he's starting at the back. Feel free to comment, as I say, I will read the comments shortly. I'm just posting on Facebook, we all live, and we're about to get underway for some brilliant racing. So there we go, the car's all on the grid now, drivers are about to put the setups in. This is going to be an out and out sprint race. First across the line will take the win. We have got track limits off just because of the penalties here at Brands Hatch are not forgiving. Right, there we go, we're shared on Facebook. Can now focus on the stream. We can see what's happening. There we go. Come on, guys. Only G too quick will take a mistake for him not to win. Good luck from JR. Glad to have you here on the stream, JR. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely brilliant in the GT3s. Don't miss on that, ladies and gentlemen. From 5 o'clock, our GT3 Championship will get underway from Fuji. Jack Osborne, he's my teammate. I don't know who's talking about there. Congratulations to all the drivers that moved up to T1. Yeah, definitely. We have a rule here at Motive that if you finish in the top 5 of Tier 2, you will get moved up to Tier 1 for the next season. Unfortunately, the bottom 5 of the Tier 1 will move down. That's just to try and keep it as competitive as possible. So a 20-minute race if you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, here at Brands Hatch for our Tier 1 drivers to get the season underway. We do have a new rule of teammates being allowed. Go Kurt says only Sakura, sorry. Pro Hero here, loving what you're doing, lads. Was in Tier 2 just now. Absolutely brilliant race from you, Pro. Definitely going to be a good season for us boys in Tier 2. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, we're sinking. The lights are about to go green here at Brands Hatch. Our Tier 1 boys are about to go underway. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen. A brilliant start there from whoever's in 3rd. That looks to be Ollie. Ollie's up to 2nd now. He's on the outside with his lights on. The only G controlling the pace at the moment in front. Sebastefano on the inside. And the only G has got a brilliant start, and he's dropped down to 5th position off the start line. So we'll look further down the grid for this mid battle into turn 2. We're too wide coming round Very safe driving there from all the boys. We're on board with Smithy. Teammates with foul gas at the moment. Someone just gets pushed wide there. I don't know who that was. Absolutely phenomenal start there from the only G. Unfortunately, Andy down to 4th position. So there we go, up the hill for the first lap. The mid-pack battle beginning to kick off. Too wide under the bridge. Is Smithy going to compete for this one into the right-hander? He backs off a bit. Very safe driving there. The 2 teammates just behind. Peanuts. Rob and Altel moves up a couple of positions in the first few corners. 8th and 9th respectable. And someone spun off. There we go. Someone has spun off. Can't quite tell you who that is. And it is John Boy. Very unfortunate, but we do have 18 minutes left of this race, so he's got plenty of time to get himself together and keep moving. So it is the only G coming in the last corner of the first lap for the seasonal opener here for the Tier 1 boys. Absolutely flying at the moment. A 1:41 first lap for him. Into turn 1, down paddock hill he goes. 1 second behind is Sebastefano. He got promoted from Tier 2 last season. It does look like there in the background someone did go off. And it is Andy. Andy's crashing there. Absolutely disgraceful there for Andy. He's meant to be setting an impression, but it doesn't look like at the moment he's able to do so. So he's got the pace, but he doesn't look like he's got the safety at the moment. He qualified 2nd and he's dropped down to 9th within the first lap or so. So Andy needs to try and get his act together and show these boys how it's done here at Motive. There we go, a comment from Nathan Rutter there. Turn left, Andy. Nathan knows what he's on about here. Big up the only G, we know what he's capable of. Yeah, definitely. He's definitely got the pace here in these little cars. He does hold a lot of lap records. It does look like there in the background someone's just getting squarely Pro Alpha. A little bit sideways out of the fast right-hander there. We have still got this mid-pack battle. 2 wide in 2 rows there, I think it was in the background. We'll have them managing to get round safely. So we're looking at the first lap times coming in now. Very respectable. A 1:35.4 for the only G for his first lap properly of the race without the standing start. We'll jump back at the front. Sebastefano and Pro Fubby. Both of those drivers got promoted this season and they're definitely showing how to drive. The caution sign, I think, mate, is showing that the drivers are or would get a penalty if we didn't turn track limits off. As if you watch the Tier 2 race, mate, a lot of drivers got penalties for touching curbs, and we want to try and get the best out of these drivers as we can. So touching a curb isn't a problem obviously in real life, so we turn track limits off and all these boys know how to use them. No one's going to cheat, we all respect each other the same. So yeah, mate, these drivers would all get penalties if they were to have penalties on. Let's try and jump on board with someone and see what they're witnessing at the moment. Let's go roof cam as we come into the last corner now. We're on board with Pro Fubby. As I just said, he did get promoted last season. Currently showing these boys how it's done. His last lap was a 1:35.6. Will he improve and maybe yeah, he's improved to a 1:35.5, so he's still on the pace. He's got Smithy 2 tenths behind him though. Smithy's caught up at least 2 tenths on the last lap. As Seb runs a little bit wide there, manages to collect it back together as we go down the hill. So it looks like it's going to be a battle for 2nd position at the moment. G looks like he's running away with this one on lap 4. Let us know who you think is going to take this one. Is G going to make a mistake? As we just see there in the background, there's a battle going on between the teammates. Andy looks to be getting involved. This never ends well in left corners for Andy. And he just backs out very safe there for Andy. He knows he has problems with left corners. Maybe these teammates are playing it tactically, not letting Andy past. And it looks like one of them's run off. Hits the fence. Comes back on safely though, so it does look like that was Rob there. Someone's in the pits though, further down the grid. John Boy's come in for maybe damage after that crash earlier on in the race. Very unfortunate there for John Boy. Hopefully he can pick himself up for race 2. We will join back at the front now. The gap has increased though, 2.5 seconds between our leaders and the bunch that are trying to catch up to him. So Smithy looks to have overtaken Pro Fubby in that lap as well. Smithy's having an absolutely brilliant race. As we saw in the Clios the other day, he did win the feature race. Still got 13 minutes to go here, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like there's got a crash. A very unfortunate yellow flag at the top of the hill there. The boys managed to get it back together though. And like we say, if there was penalties on there for those drivers, they all would have had slowdowns and maybe even give back positions, but did manage to collect themselves in the back away. A flash of lights of respect there from Smithy. Maybe a little touch into the hairpin, but nothing too bad. And someone's gone off there. Someone has gone off. I don't know who that was. Maybe it was Ollie. Ollie Moore did run off there. Maybe a bit of tyre slip coming out of the long hairpin. He's lost a couple of positions, respectable, but he is still up there with the front boys. Is he going to go up the inside now into the next right-hander? Oh thanks, why are some going then? They come up as a warning on the game. I don't know why. This game does have a lot of bugs, obviously, with it not having updates, but for the drivers nothing will come up. And yeah, so as we saw there in the background, one of the Rob or Altal did run wide there, but they didn't make up any time, so it's not a problem. J Palm, it might be, you know, because with the only battles we've got on at the moment are these three coming across the line now to start lap 6. But then it might be right there, J Palm. It does look that way with the arrows being, the triangles being if people are within a second of each other. It does look that way, mate. I think you're right. Touch of doors there coming out of the hairpin. That's Andy being involved again. Andy's always involved with these incidents, it looks like. As he moves up tonight for now, a little touch there to STDS. And he's on the inside for this left-hander. We know what happened last time. He was on the inside for a left-hander. He manages to stay safe though. We're still side by side, ladies and gentlemen. I would need a nappy changing after this battle with Andy. I wouldn't feel safe at all, but this is how it is. And there we go, a comment from Foul Guest, had to retire, car is too damaged. Very unfortunate there for Foul. But obviously he will be able to qualify for the next race, and we do know Foul does have a lot of pace in these little cars. We did see that last season. Let's have a look further up for this battle. So Sebastian, pulled out a little gap, and Smithy runs right out the last corner. He's going to have to give that position up to Ollie. He doesn't have the pace there, so commentator's curse there. We just jumped on board with Smithy, and this 3-car battle with Andy, STD and Pro Alpha, that is, I think. There we go. Yep. Yeah, Jack, you alright, mate? Kudos to Pro Alpha, got disconnected from Tier 2 and has been put in Tier 1 and showing these boys how it's done, definitely. And a lot of fast boys in here, as you can see from the lap times next to their names. their previous lap times, that is. All these boys running strong pace, but definitely keep an eye on the stream, Jack, because after this race, at the moment, Pro Alpha will be able to qualify for the feature race, and the top 5 that finish this race won't be able to, so they'll be starting from the back, and it will give a jump for Pro Alpha, maybe be able to get away if he qualifies well. And someone's gone off just in front. Smithy comes back on track, stays to one side though to keep it safe as possible. So I don't know what's happened to this with Smithy. Has he got damage maybe? And it looks like he's managed to get away, and he's just at the back of this battle now. Is he going up the inside? He is indeed. There we go, brilliant overtake. Very unusual there for Andy in a left-hand corner, but nevertheless that driving lesson might have taught him a few things the other day as he comes around the last corner now. Nathan Bowie is racing currently in a different league. I think it might be Java or Curb Clippers, but either way we wish him the best of luck. And a comment from DJ Phil: go Andy, you can win. Unfortunately Andy's down in 9th, 16 seconds off the pace at the moment. He did qualify second, but the usual Andy has had a couple of incidents and crashes. 8 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us here at Motive, our race leader, the OG, set a 1:34.8 in qualifying. Absolutely flying away from these boys at the moment. Nearly a 4-second lead to Seb Estefano. He got promoted from Tier 2 this season. Showing these boys how it's done at the moment. In third we do have Olimar. A couple of mistakes from him, but he's managed to claw his way back up. Pro Phobia just behind, also got promoted from Tier 2 this season. RDJ's had a brilliant race, and ALTAL very consistent from those teammates at the moment. Crawled the way back up from starting 9th and 10th. Further down the grid though, Mojo Morgan hasn't had the best race. I think he ran wide in the first lap and just hasn't been able to recover. He's got Kurt on his rear bumper at the moment. Only 4 attempts back as they come towards the end of lap 8 to start lap 9. And these boys very comfortable to just sit there at the moment. The closest driver is 5 seconds back, and in front they've got Pro Fubby 2.5 seconds, so they'll be happy to do so with 6.5 seconds to go. And it looks like we've still got this battle going on between Andy and Girino. None of these boys wanting to give up. On lap 9 we are. Let's jump on board and have a look at what Girino's seeing now. Andy just in front. It looks like Smithy's run wide. He's managed to keep it on the track. All of these boys trying to get in the slipstream now as they're going to go under the bridge. Here's one of them going to go up the inside. Smithy's gone defensive. Andy stayed defensive. And he'll make it round safely. Andy's had to slow down. Oh, and a little tap there from Andy. He manages to keep it going there. Andy, as we know, isn't the best at turning left, but both of them managed to get away with that one safely. Girino goes up the inside of Smithy. Absolutely phenomenal overtake there, but he's spun. He's put it in the wall. Smithy, unfortunately, there gets a curb and hits Andy, but they both get away with it. Very unfortunate there for Girino. An absolutely brilliant overtake on Smithy. He just didn't have the grip to get it done. So Andy's the only one left, which I suppose is the best for him. DJ Phil, yes, I am the only one commentating this race, mate. Andy, as you saw there, is on the grid. Bowie is doing a race as well. So yep, I'm the only one in this one, mate. Our race leader, less than 5 minutes to go for him now. Nearly 3 seconds in front. Nothing's changed as far as the top 4 at the moment. Ollie chasing down Pro Fubby. with the two teammates just behind, both of them lights on, trying to intimidate Ollie. 2 seconds behind them pair are now. Very unfortunate race for Smithy. He got into that battle for second and he's lost a lot of positions due to damage and mistakes. Getting used to this solo commentating. I suppose, mate, yeah, I suppose it's just waffling to your TV, I guess. Trying to not stop talking. It does look like we've got a battle further on down the grid, though. Motoring, Morgan and Kurt still battling it out for P11 at the moment. And obviously every point counts for this championship due to it being a team championship as well. If you did watch the tier 2 stream, I'd like to pronounce the Oak Cape Racing team are winning the championship. Nathan Rutter and myself. And then I don't know who's in second at the moment. Tell us about the teammates. So we have got the only G is teammates with, I think it is Kurt. Yep, there we go. So we've got 1st and 11th being teammates at the moment. Seb Stefano is teammates with Gypsy George, who had a brilliant race in tier 2. I think he finished 4th in tier 2. Pro Fubby, I think he's teammates with Pro Alpha. And then Ollie is teammates with Motoring Morgan. AL Tal and Rob, as you can see, are teammates, both running the same livery. Well, a teammate livery. Andy is running solo because he's got no mates. Smithy's teammates with Fal. It doesn't look like Jorino's got a teammate. I think that's it at the moment. Mally just gets a little bit loose there on the curb. Ugba. And oh, it looks like Ugba's teammates with Andy. Well, I feel sorry for Ugba at the moment, but hopefully it'll work out in the long run. There we go, come across the line. It might be 2 more laps, ladies and gentlemen, for this sprint race. Lap 12, we are on a 1:36.9 just from the only G. DJ Phil, we could do commentating. Unfortunately, mate, it is a Project Cars Championship, so the only G's set this up, or fell, so that I have to be here. And if you're not already in it, unfortunately, you can't commentate. I don't know whether you could do something about that. Maybe in the future, I'd be happy for you to be in the commentating booth, Phil. We do need a couple more commentators. G is definitely on a mission. Yeah, definitely left these boys for dead. 4.5 seconds in front now. No mistakes at the moment, and we've got a battle for third position. Sorry, these 3 cars out in front. Was that? No, I think it's second position. We've got a battle for. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Is it third? Yeah, it is third. Seb Stefano, very comfortable race from himself. Happy to sit there in second position. No problems at all. That's why I got confused then, ladies and gentlemen. I was confused at that yellow car. It is a lapped car, it looks like. And so it does look like we have got a 2-car battle now for third position. Pro Fubby and Ollie. Let's jump on board with Ollie, see if he's going to put any pressure on Pro Fubby as we start the 13th lap, middle sector. He's on the outside, he's going to hit that curb, and usually that would give you a penalty due to the physics of Project Cars, but he didn't gain any time, as we saw there, and he's managed to stay behind Pro Fubby. So we have done this to enable this sort of racing here at Motive, to enable these boys to carry on battling all the way without having to slow down for these penalties. There we go, that battle's still going on. It does look like Andy's catching up to Pro Alpha. So just a word of warning to Pro Alpha, please be aware for Andy catching up. Unfortunately, Andy is still in a coaching school and learning to drive. So when the bottom 5 drop, is that per team or individual? Oh, Andy goes up the inside there of RDJ. So RDJ looks to have had a problem there in that middle sector, and he spins again. Very unfortunate, but the only G does take the win for this sprint race. Absolutely phenomenal driving, coming across the line. Second, Sebastefano. Pro Fulby in third. Ollie comes around with a very strong performance there in fourth. AL Tal along in fifth. Pro Alpha to take 6th, Andy 7th. RDJ is going to come around to take 8th. Unfortunately for Smithy, a few mistakes. He's going to come around in 9th. Further down now, coming towards the last corner, we've got Kurt Hodgson, who's going to take 10th in this sprint race for the seasonal opener here at Motive Racing in the GT5s at Brands Hatch. Please stick around, ladies and gentlemen. The feature race will be getting underway shortly. I'm going to keep the stream going. There we go, across the line he goes. Next we've got Gerino, then Motory Morgan. Very unfortunate race for him due to the start. Malik comes across in 13th and Upper in 14th. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your results for the sprint race of the seasonal opener here at Motive Racing. And the teams at the moment, I think it is going to be either Peanuts winning the championship or Need for Madness. I can't quite figure it out, but let's get the feature race underway. There we go. Fastest lap of the race there for Smithy, 35 dead, but it all matters about the only G taking that win by nearly 5 seconds. We're going to wait for an invite now for the feature race. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, if you did like watching that race, feel free to join our Discord server. It is on our Facebook page, and I will put it in the comments now for everyone. If you would like to join these boys racing out on track, feel free to do so when you join our Discord server. You can sign up for these championships. In tier 2 there was a couple of places left for you to be able to join us on track. Obviously the more the merrier. We're happy to give help and share setups and advice throughout any of our championships we have. We do have a GT3 championship tomorrow, we have a LMP2 championship tomorrow, and then back to Monday we have the GT championship, and then Tuesday we're back to the Clios. So it's all happening very quickly here at Motive. So there we go, I've just posted in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, the Discord server. Feel free to join, get signed up for these championships. As you saw there, brilliant racing from everyone. And we are about to get an invite for the tier 1 feature race this evening. There we go, there's the invite. We're going to jump in now, ladies and gentlemen. So it does look like I am going to be driving a go-kart around the commentary box this evening. And wow, we've got loads of different cars being put in. But yeah, if you're still watching this DJ Phil, as you can see, it is set up as a championship, so it's automatically put me in the commentating booth. Everyone's in the same liveries, and it's set up well. It is set up very well here at Motive Racing. So there we see 19 lap race with a mandatory pit stop, with a 10-minute qualifying for the drivers that didn't finish in the top 5. Sorry about this wait, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we're just waiting for a couple of drivers to get back in. I think they're all just having a briefing about the race. There we go, it looks like we've got a final driver in, I think. Don't think you're winning a go-kart? Yep, I don't think so either, mate. I'm going to be doing laps around the commentary box, I think, at Brands Hatch. I don't know why it's put me in a go-kart. I can't even edit my livery, I'm stuck in the pink one. So, yeah. I think I'd be getting ran over at Paddock Hill on the first one. Never mind making it a full lap. There we go, it looks like we've got a full grid now, 17 drivers in. Sorry about that wait, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get underway for this feature race for the seasonal opener here at Motive. So obviously if you're just joining us here, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get underway for our feature race here in the Tier 1 Championship. Feel free to comment who you think's going to qualify on pole. Obviously the top 5 will be unable to qualify for this session in the feature race. So let's see who's going out on track. Obviously all of these drivers are going to use this 10 minutes to the best advantage. There we go. Obviously just seeing the drivers now all out on laps trying to warm those tyres up. Definitely can feel it when these tyres are cold. I've only this week purchased a wheel. The last year I've been sim racing I have used a controller, and this evening's race definitely proved for me. The first race I've done on a wheel, but it also proved you can feel a lot of the tyres when they're cold. The wheel goes so light and loose. Definitely feels like a whole new game when you're definitely feels like a whole new game when you've got a wheel. But just looking at the comments now, and the safety car, apparently J Palm says that will be a very slow safety car for this evening's race. So DJ Phil says Andy or RDJ for pole. Yeah, obviously Andy qualified second in the sprint race, unfortunately. Had a few incidents of flashing lights there, Pro Alpha asking someone to let him past as he's on a lap and they've just come out the pits. There we go, pull to the side. Very respectful driving in our tier 1 boys this evening. So let's see who's going to be the first one to put a lap in. Let's pull the timings and the map board up. We've got a couple of drivers in the last sector at the moment. Let's try and find out who they are. We've got Malik, who's about to come across the line, our first driver to put a lap in for the feature race qualifying session this evening. And it is going to be a out lap. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I messed that one up a bit, I think. So let's see who's next coming across the line. And it is going to be Andy. He's running wide a bit there, as usual from Andy, with that jelly rig. Across the line he goes. And it looks like it was an out lap as well, so not many of these boys got out straight away. So it looks like one of the next drivers across the line is Girino. He had a brilliant little battle with Andy throughout that race, just fortunately span and lost a couple of positions towards the end of the race. There we go, our first lap from Girino, 1:37.7. So everyone else now I think to come across the line will be hot laps with 6 minutes to go. A few more drivers just coming out of the pits trying to put qualifying setups in, and they're going to go for it now. If you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to leave a like, comment and subscribe. We are about to get underway for our feature race here at Motive Racing. Our tier 1 championship is about to get underway this evening. Girino just getting a little bit loose there, coming out the hairpin. Motoring Morgan currently sat on pole, 1:36.2 he's just done. 2 tenths behind him though, Kurt Hodgson. He's moved up from tier 2 this season into tier 1. Definitely showing these boys the pace this evening, are our tier 2 promotion drivers. Kurt Hodgson just pulls off there. I don't know what happened there, but most of the world drivers out on track at the moment. Falguest currently sat in 6th position now, just lost a couple of positions. Let's have a look at our provisional pole at the moment, coming into the last corner shortly. Is he going to be able to improve on that 136.2? He's set just across the line, and he isn't able to. He's 3/10 slower. So there we go. 3.5 minutes to go. We've currently got Motoring Morgan on pole, Kurt Hodgson 2nd, Torino 3rd at the moment, John Boy 4th, Malik 5th, Falguest 6th. But we would have expected by now Andy to have set a flying lap. He is about to come around the last corner, so let's have a look what he's going to do now. Obviously Andy qualified 2nd in the sprint race, and with that sort of lap time he posted, he will be on pole. That's how now he's not set lap time, so across the line he goes. He goes to 4th, 3/10 off the pace of 136.5. So he's gone back in the pits, maybe had that engine damage there. Is he going to have time to warm those tyres up and get back up to pace? I don't know. So Motoring Morgan's still on pole though. We have got less than 3.5 temps between the top 5 at the moment. It's very close, ladies and gentlemen. We have got a brilliant race ahead of us. Please stick around to watch this as it uncovers. And Morgan just looks to have spun there into the last couple of corners. I'll have a look a little bit further down the field at the moment. Smithy just about to come across the line, and 153, that must have been an outlap. Getting across the corner, across the line, moves up to 7th, 1 second off the pace at the moment. He had the fastest lap in the sprint race, so he's definitely wanting to get up there with the front boys. There we go, using the track limits as much as he can, pushing this little car. Takes the shallow line through that hairpin. It might defect his run onto this long straight though. There we go, car just pulls to one side there, let him through. Knowing he's on a flying lap. Very safe driving from these boys. If you do like what you see this evening, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to join our Discord server. I did post a comment earlier of the Discord server link, so feel free to click that, sign up, get yourself on the grid for next week. We do have the GT3 Championship with JR commentating that tomorrow night. And then after that we've got the LMP Championship. I'll be back in the commentating booth for that one. And Sunday we do have the NASCAR Championship, which is going to be very interesting. A lot of close battles going on with that. A lot of practice has been going on. That's going to be from 8 o'clock British summer time. Then we start the week off again on Monday with the GTEs and the Clios on Tuesday again. So definitely feel free to join our Discord server, get signed up, and you can be on the grid for next week. So there we see Smithy improved on that previous lap time. He's down to 9/10 now of Motoring Morgan. This isn't the fastest qualifying session we have seen, but the top 5 of the sprint race, as we said, are not allowed to qualify for this one. So we just saw that split there, 4/10 up is Smithy, so that'll put him to potentially 5th position, or if he manages to improve even more, 4th or even 3rd. So Looks like it's a fine lap here for Smithy. Let's jump on board and see how he's getting on at the moment. Through the middle sector he is at the moment. Using the track limits there, absolutely brilliant racing here from Smithy. Into the last corner he's going to go now. Pushing the car as much as he can. We saw a little bit of understeer there, he had to let off, maybe lost a little bit of time now. Kurt Hodgson looks to have put it on pole by 4/10. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Smithy moves up to 4th as well as he crosses the line. Let's jump back trackside to see what other drivers are still out on track. So there we go, Smithy. And he's crossed the line. Ugby. RDJ's coming across the line now, currently 11th. He's going to improve, there we go. Puts it up to 7th. A brilliant qualifying session from our drivers there. Tier 1, ladies and gentlemen. Kurt Hodgson on pole. And it is going to be less than 1.2 seconds between the top 8 drivers. Absolutely brilliant driving there, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously we see there the bottom 5, well 4, there we go, 5 drivers unable to qualify due to their brilliant results in the sprint race. And now we're going to get this feature race underway. I think it is 19 laps. There we go, 19 laps at the top of your screen there. Kurt Hodgson, our pole sitter, as we saw for the qualifying session. Motory Morgan just behind, Gerino in 3rd, Smithy 4th, and Pro Alpha to round up your top 5. Drivers just currently putting the setups in, getting the cars prepped, sorting pit strategies out. Kurt Hodgson is going to be the driver to lead us into Paddock Hill for the first time. Is he going to get away? We don't know yet, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to comment though who you think's going to take this one. Are the boys at the back going to force their way through? Obviously G showed that pace in the sprint race and he won by 4 seconds. So the lights are about to go green, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get underway here at Motive Racing for the seasonal opener feature race. And we're underway, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Gerino got a brilliant start there. Kurt still leading the way. Gerino just up his inside though. Very clean start from all the boys. Let's look further down the grid as they all come down Paddock Hill now. Here's the mid-pack battle. Motory Morgan on the outside there, Rob underneath him. And it looks like they've made it round safely, all the drivers. And it looks like in the background someone's spun now. Is that Ugby or Falguest? I don't know. It looks like it was Ugby and Falguest, so I don't know what happened there, but very unfortunate driving from those pair on the first lap. They have got 18.5 laps to go though. So I'm just reading the comments now. Yeah, I'll drop you a message, Nathan, when this race is over, mate. Don't worry about that. And I think G can get around the traffic. Yeah, G is currently up to 10th, 9th now. It looks like they're banging doors now towards the end of the first lap there. Very unfortunate there for Altel. He was the one that took the force there, just driving faster into the corner, and managed to get caught up in it all. So, and Olimar, unfortunately. Yep, Need for Madness, yep, he's currently winning the race, mate. Lap 2 we're on now. Massive battle going on for the lead here. He's dropped a couple of positions though. He might have run wide at the bottom of Paddock Hill, but we do have a 6-car battle for the lead here, ladies and gentlemen. The second lap of the race. We have got 6 cars within 1.3 seconds. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal racing. Let's have a look further up at the front. Smithy sitting second. He's got RDJ all over the back of him. Pro Alpha, that is, leading the race at the moment. Less than 1/10 behind him, as we say, it is Smithy. Smithy's side by side now. He takes the lead. Coming down the hill under the bridge we go. We're 2 wide, ladies and gentlemen. As we see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we have got track penalties off. These drivers wouldn't be secure driving side by side without getting lots of penalties in this tier 1 race. We want the best potential we can get out of these drivers. Let's join on board with the back of this battle, which is Andy at the moment, and see from his perspective what he's seen of these 5 cars in front of him. He's got Kurt Hodgson just in front of him, our pole sitter for this qualifying session. Just in front of him we've got Motoring Morgan, then we've got Pro Alpha, then we've got Rob, then we've got Smithy leading this race. And he takes the inside there, hits the apex, and Morgan's gone in for his pit stop now. A very early pit stop for Morgan. Tactical though, he doesn't want to get stuck up in all this traffic of this battle. J Palm, any fast drivers pitting early. The only one I think I've seen at the moment is Motoring Morgan. He did take that tactic in the Clios, and he managed to claw his way back up, which we saw at Rapuna Park the other day. So that tactic seems to work for Morgan, and it might do this evening. These boys are all stuck up battling with each other. As we see, the fastest lap for these last lap was a 1:37 for these boys. They're all over the shop at the moment trying to battle for track position, and he gets a good run on Pro Alpha. He's got nowhere to go though at the moment. Has to let off a little bit. He's going to try and get in the slipstream. Maybe there we go, he backs off now. Smithy's still our race leader at the moment, and Motoring Morgan drops down to 11th, 35 seconds behind now. In my race we had a mandatory pit as well, and I did notice to change 2 tyres was 13 seconds. Then you've got to take into account whether they're adding fuel, engine damage. These boys obviously have full damage with it being tier 1. Someone just gets shunted off there, Kurt Hodgson. Unfortunately there for Andy, he did shunt him off. The only G manages to get away with it though. Andy looks to be waiting for Kurt. So very kind driving there, unfortunately did hit him. We'll join back up at the front of this battle though, and see what these drivers are doing. Rob's all over the back of Smithy. Rob might be coming for the undercut into the first corner. What GTE cars do you like? Last season personally I drove the Ford GT, purely because I had a setup in it from a previous championship I raced in. But also the Porsche, everyone loves the Porsche if they've got it on the DLC. It's a brilliant car to drive, and I'm just getting distracted here by this battle for the podium at the moment. 4 cars within less than a second at the moment. Smithy just hits the curb there on the inside, very near to crashing. Manages to keep it going there. Rob's on the outside now into the next turn. We're too wide, pardon me, we're too wide again on lap 4 of this race, and the only G has had an absolute stormer of a start here, up to 4th position as Rob runs wide now. Can he keep it clean? And he manages to get back on track safely. So the only G is up to 3rd. I think the only G is the one to be watching for this evening's feature race. He won the sprint race by 4 seconds, and he's managed to catch up to these boys. Who's that that's spat out there? It is Falguest, unfortunately, isn't having the best race. His teammates winning this race, and Falguest is being lapped. Smithy's getting a little bit of gap on these boys now, coming to the end of lap 4. So the only driver that was up with these front drivers earlier on has pitted is Motoring Morgan. He's up to 10th, 33 seconds behind at the moment, as we just see there Pro Alpha on the gravel loses 2 positions. Unfortunately there, his tyres are going to be dirty now. He's going to have to try and go steady at the moment. So this is the only battle going on at the moment. I think J Palm was right about the little exclamation marks and triangles, because nothing else is showing up on the timing boards as anyone's close. So thank you for letting me know that, J Palm, if you're still watching. So the only G is up to 2nd. Is he going to be able to take this race lead before he takes his pit stop? He did a 1:36.5 last lap. Our race leader was a second slower last lap. The only G is definitely catching him. And into the last corner they go now. Our podium at the moment, Smithy, the only G, RDJ, and just at the back of your picture there, Pro Alpha unfortunately touched the gravel and it sucked him in at Paddock Hill. RDJ now all over the back of Smithy. Absolutely phenomenal driving from the only G. Is he going to go up the inside into the hairpin? He is going to do so, and it looks like he's going to manage to get it done, unless Smithy stays on the outside. Unfortunately doesn't. 2 drivers in the pits there, Jorino and Kurt Hodgson in the pits. So our qualifying winner is in the pits, 27 seconds behind though. And he's come back out of the pits in 8th, just in front of Motoring Morgan. So it does look like provisionally Kurt Hodgson is our race leader, as these boys still have to pit. We are on lap 6 of 19 here at Motive Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see, feel free to join our Discord server and sign up, and you can be on the grid for next week in our Tier 2 race. A link to our Discord server will be posted in the comments very shortly. I shall do so now. We have got the GT3 Championship starting tomorrow at Fuji. There's a link to the Discord, guys, in the comments. The GT3 starting tomorrow at Fuji. Then after that, in the evening, we do have and someone's gone in the pits. That looks like it's Pro Alpha. Pro Alpha's in the pits, and we have the LMPs in the evening tomorrow night. And then on Sunday we've got the NASCAR League at 8 PM GMT. On Monday we're back to the GTEs for round 2, and it looks like Rob's on the gravel, so it looks like the only G's running away with this one again. He's got a 2-second gap already. Very clean driving this evening from the only G. So yeah, I was saying Monday we're back to the GTEs, and then Tuesday the Clios again, and we'd be happy for you to join us on the grid if you are a clean and safe driver. Have you got a good and stable setup for the Ford and the BMW? TJ Phil, I do have a good setup for the Ford I can give you, mate, but this season in the GTEs you're only allowed to run one car, you can't swap cars. So if you would like to drive the Ford, then that's the only one you can drive for this season. That's a rule that's been changed for season 2. So, coming towards the end of lap 7, into the last corner goes our race leader again. The only G. He's come from the back of the grid in 7 laps, has managed to get back to the front. Then we have the battle going for second position. Pro Alpha, Andy and Rob. They're too wide coming into Paddock Hill now. Andy on the inside, Rob just backs out of it. He doesn't want any more accidents. Ollie's in the pits now. In 5th, Malik's in 6th at the moment. A brilliant race from him. 5 seconds back is our provisional race leader Kurt, with Motory Morgan just behind him. Both of them have pitted. Smithy I think's pitted as well. He's down to 9th. Pro Fubby in 10th. Not the best race from him, obviously not being able to qualify. He started at the back. Seb Estefano in 11th. AL Tal, unfortunately, an incident at the start of the race has thrown him to the back. Gerino in 13th. John Boy in 14th. Ukba in 15th. Valgues, unfortunately, looks like he's got a lot of damage again. Unfortunately, in the back of the grid again. So, this battle's still going on for the second and third position. And you're not wanting to give up. Chirito's also in the pits now. Yeah, DJ Phil, tomorrow I'll send you a couple of setups for the Ford. I've got a couple of wet ones or dry setups. And Andy goes up the inside there of Pro Alpha. Pro Alpha's going to be on the inside though for Paddock Hill this time round to start lap 9 of this race. Absolutely phenomenal driving from these boys. Just coming out of the pits now though, it does look like we've got a driver maybe that can interfere with this. As they go around and in between that driver, I don't know who it was. But very safe driving from these boys, as we saw there. Pro Alpha still in the lead for this battle. Andy all over the back of him though. So it does look like though we have got a 3-car battle going on for the provisional race lead. And Motory Morgan, Kurt Hodgson, and then just a little bit further back we've got Smithy. And if these boys carry on battling out the way they are, it does look like Smithy might be able to catch up, and it will play in his favour coming towards the end of this race. Comment there from Fal, not happy in mate. He doesn't. He's definitely not happy. He is on a controller, and obviously with damage of suspension, it's hard to keep hold of straight. I know from previous experience, but he's doing his best out there, which is what we like to see. He's going to bounce back from this next week, and hopefully show these boys how it's done on a controller. Andy is in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. So one of the boys up at the front in the pits now, so we're going to have to keep an eye. Let's get the track map up and see. So there at the top of the track map we have got Andy in the pits. We're on board with Kurt at the moment, which is your blue arrow coming into the last corner now. He is too wide with Malik, and he manages to get the overtake done. Andy is moving now, and he's going to come out of the pits, I think, just behind these boys. There we go, Andy's coming out of the pits now, just behind Kurt. And Smithy might be in between this battle, as he's come out just behind Smithy. Malik's also in the pits, so there we go. Smithy and Andy are going to have a battle now for 6th position. Lap 10 we're on, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just joining us here at Motive Racing, We are live for our feature race of the seasonal opener here for the GT5 Championship at Brands Hatch. These fellas have just done a sprint race and the top 5 were unable to qualify for this feature race due to a rule we have to try and keep it as competitive as possible. Our race leader is in the pits at the moment, so let's get that timing board and map, up and see. Pro Alpha's also in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. Our 2 race leaders in the pits, so Kurt Hodgson currently our provisional race leader into T3 now. It does look like the only G might be able to get out before him. What's up? Sorry about that, mate. I think I might have clicked my mic off. I'm sorry about that, boys. I was talking to myself. I was saying that the only G and Motory Morgan timed their pit stops to perfection. Obviously, Motory Morgan pitted at the start of the race after not wanting to get involved with that battle. The RDJ in the pits now is going to lose like quite a lot of positions. Thanks for letting me know about the commentary, mate. Appreciate it. But yeah, Motory Morgan didn't want to get involved in that battle, just wanted clean air to get fast laps in. But the only G also battled his way through the pack from the back and has managed to get a 2-second gap, maybe due to different pit strategies, maybe not doing engine damage. I don't know what's happened, but this is going to be our race results at the moment. I think everyone has pitted now within the top 10, or everyone, I don't know who has, who hasn't. So the only G, Motory Morgan, Kurt Hodgson, Andy, Pro Alpha, Pro Fubby, Smithy, Ollie Mart, Sebastefano, and then we've got the 2 teammates behind, Ailtal, RDJ, Malik, John Boy, Girino, Ugbert, and unfortunately Fal. Not the best race again. A lot of damage were made. It looks like he spun out at the bottom of Paddock Hill. Obviously, being on control, it's very hard to keep that in a straight line with damage. Let's have a look at the times at the moment. So the fastest lap is coming from I think it is Andy at the moment with a 1:35.6. These boys are all putting out brilliant lap times as we come across the line to start lap 13 for our feature race this evening at Brands Hatch. So 2.5 second gap between our race leader and second. The only G's showing some phenomenal pace this evening. Does look like we've got a battle going on for third position though, ladies and gentlemen. Well, second position actually. Motoring Morgan there in that orange, white and black car. Andy and Kurt Hodgson just behind him. Andy putting pressure now on Kurt. Glad you're watching the stream, JR. Gonna have a brilliant night of racing tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss it, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the seasonal opener for our GT3 championship here at Motive. It definitely looks like it's going to be a brilliant race at Fuji with weather changes and a lot of fast drivers on the grid. Really great clean racing, yeah, definitely, as we saw there. Another car just pulling to one side. I think that was Falgas, obviously not on the pace this evening. Happy for these boys to have a brilliant battle for third position, or even second if these boys manage to just slipstream each other and move the way closer towards Motoring Morgan. It does look like we've got a battle further down now. RDJ, Ollie and maybe Sebas Stefano. Nothing too massive at the moment though. We are going to stay on board with this battle for now and see what happens with Motoring Morgan, Kurt and Andy. And Kurt's going defensive there, it looks like. Andy's taking the wider line. And across the line they go once more to start lap 15. Ladies and gentlemen, please comment down below who you think is going to take this win. Obviously the only G has got a 3-second gap to these we are on board with it at the moment, but will the only G make a mistake? As we see there, it looks like Motoring Morgan makes a mistake. Very unfortunate. A class race for Motoring Morgan this evening, and unfortunately just a slip of the tyres there. He's lost a lot of positions. He gets underway, we hear that engine moving. Up the hill he goes, 12 seconds behind our race leader now. So we have got a 3-car battle now. Those boys lost a lot of time there in the first sector. 10 seconds back, they were only 3 seconds back at the start of that lap. I don't really know what happened as we watched Morgan spin. And we've got a 3-car battle, as I said. So Pro Fubby leading this battle, Pro Alpha just behind him, and Kurt in there as well. So oh, it was Andy I think that span then, as Kurt just goes up the inside there, and Pro Fubby, brilliant clean overtake. Tim says nice clean race and great commentating. Thank you Tim, glad to have you here, thanks for subscribing. And make sure to join us tomorrow at 5 PM for the GT3 Championship. That's about to get underway here at Motive, and also at 8 o'clock the LMP2 Championship's going to get underway for Season 2. A flash of the lights there from Pro Alpha. Tim, if you would like to join us on the grid, feel free to join the Discord server. I did post it earlier, I'll post it again now, and you can get signed up and be on the grid potentially for next week. All the drivers here are happy to share setups, and most of them are using the same setup for this evening's race. So it looks like Pro Alpha just happy to sit behind Kurt at the moment. Nothing too not much pressure coming from him on lap 16, so we've only got 3.5 laps to go. The only G 11 seconds in front of these boys. Is that Andy just pulling to one side? It is Andy, so Andy has made a massive mistake and has a lot of damage now. We see him feeling sorry for himself going up the hill, just coasting his way into the grass, and he's going to pull to one side possibly. We see Andy had a brilliant race up until that point, and he pulls to one side. So we have got nearly 3 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. This four car battle we are now, sorry. Motoring Morgan's managed to catch his way back up to the back of these boys, and it is going to be only 2 cars that will make it onto the podium. I'm Timonovsky, I'm already in. Glad to have you here, mate, glad to have you here. You know this is one of the best leagues there is. And good luck if you're racing tomorrow or Sunday. So please comment down below, ladies and gentlemen, who you think's going to take second position. And someone just runs wide there. Is that Kurt? Kurt just runs wide. Unfortunately loses third position, and he's just pulled out of the race there, just to one side. Very safe though. So it does look like a few gaps have pulled out from this battle. Unfortunately we won't be seeing much of that anymore. But it can easily be caught up on these long straight. Slipstreaming will come into effect as we near the end. So our race leader just about to start, lap 18. 2 laps to go now, ladies and gentlemen, of this feature race. An absolutely phenomenal performance from the Only G this evening. He's started this race at the back due to winning the sprint race. He's made his way all the way back up, took his mandatory pit stop, and he's come out in the lead. In the background there, a lap car looks to have spun out. I don't know who that was. But further down we've got the son and father duo. I don't know which one's which, I'm not going to say. I keep getting it wrong at every stream. And Sakura saying he lost 4th. Yeah, very unfortunate there. Just ran a little bit wide coming out of that corner, and it enabled Motoring Morgan to go up the inside. So it does look like we've only got a couple of battles going on at the moment. Hey, Altel just catching up to Smithy, coming on Paddock Hill now. Only a second between these pair. And obviously just behind Alto we have got our DJ, one of the newest YouTubers on the block. Definitely setting an impression. Many fans here at Motive for our DJ. I think he is streaming potentially at the moment. So what happened to Fal? I think he did get damage again. As we see there, Andy rolling around. Obviously he's had an incident again, like most races he takes part in here at Motive. But we are running here learning driver lessons as usual, practice lobbies and the usual. Fal unfortunately got damaged I think early on in the race, and I'm guessing it's suspension damage. And with him being on a control, it's very hard to keep hold of as the car's trying to pull you to one side. So yeah, not the best art of racing for Falgast. So on the last lap, ladies and gentlemen, for the feature race here for the seasonal opener at Motive Racing for the GT5 Championship, we're at Brands Hatch. This is the final lap, as I say. The Only G 12 seconds in front, absolutely smashed it this evening. He's shown he's been practicing, he's shown he's got the perfect setup for this car. He's coming up on lap traffic, but it won't matter, they're too far in front now. He's got a clear road, no one around him. He can go into this last sector and relax. There we go, into the penultimate corner he's about to come now. And we've still got a battle going on though for third position. We'll join on board with that after the Only G has crossed the line now. In the last corner he goes for the last time, lap 19 of 19. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the feature race winner of our Tier 1 this evening, the only G crossed the line. Well, let's have a look at this battle now. Motoring Morgan in third. It looks like he's managed to pull away from Pro Alpha and takes third position. An absolutely brilliant race from Motoring Morgan. Pro 4 becomes second. Pro Alpha in fourth. Let's try and get the only G in the commentating booth for a chat on how this evening's gone. Absolutely pulled it out of the booth this evening and showing these boys how to race. And the only G, there we go. Let's have a look if there's any battles further down as they're about to come across the line now. Olimar, very unfortunate, looks like he's got a lot of damage there. Yeah, JR's right there. Well done, lads, for sticking with it. 16 at the finish. A lot of damage from the boys at the back. But we have got our race winner in the sprint and feature in the commentating booth. Well done to the only G. How was that feature race for you?
Oh, it was really good. Got tough towards the end because of the tyre wear, but I managed to hold on.
Yeah, brilliant start to the season for you. What's your plan for the rest of the season? Carry on winning, I'm guessing?
Hopefully, yeah. Well
done, mate. So we're just seeing the final couple of drivers coming across the line now. Olimar just behind him, we've got Malik coming into the final corner. John Boy in the last sector as well. Very unfortunate for him this evening, not on the pace it looks, but a consistent drive nevertheless. And there we go, that rounds up the first evening of GT5s for this season, ladies and gentlemen. The only G taking the win in absolute fashion, 13 seconds in front of our second position Pro Phobie, then Motoring Morgan, then Pro Alpha, then we've got Kurt Smithy in 6th, Robin 7th, Tal in 8th, Sebastefano in 9th, Olimar in 10th, Malik in 11th, John Boy in 12th, Jurino in 13th, Ugbert in 14th. Unfortunately, Andy and Foul with a lot of damage finishing at the back. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you tomorrow night at 5 PM for the GT3 Championship, and then after that at 8 PM we have got the LMP2 Championship starting. We shall see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.